Today, we travel through the dark realms of humanity to encounter all pain, all addictions that haunt humans during their waking hours and in the afterlife, where healing is available for them, as well as purification for the souls. Today, we travel through the veil in order to learn about human beings' pain, about the soul's darkest moments during their existence, and during the in-between lives, where purification is available for all souls in pain. It is to say that a soul may encounter tremendous amounts of pain during their human existence. And today we must help you access that information so that doctors, mental psychiatrists, dedicated human beings to mental behaviors of human beings can learn from accessing the darkest and maybe terrifying for some realms of the inner worlds where souls visit during their waking hours and during their dream state and during the afterlife, before purification of the soul can be given to that particular soul in order to be able to return to Earth School for more work. There are no souls alive today that have not encountered pain at some point of their existence. This could not be possible, since pain is part of the human existence. The duality, the darkness and the light are part of everything. There is no existence without a certain amount of pain and of darkness. They go together. It is the great duality, the great game of life, the Leela. It is about finding your way through the corridors of pain and the immense amount of darkness, of addictions of all kinds. Addictions are not only addictions to substances like alcohol and drugs. Addictions are also encompass behavior addictions, self-destruction addictions. And the pain that a human being encounters acts as an amplifier of those addictions until that human being consciously decides to no longer feed that part of itself that is embodied by darkness, since duality will always exist. Darkness and light will always exist. So at a certain point, a human being decides to feed himself or herself with pure light and let go of that necessity to embark in toxic behaviors. And it takes a great deal of moral, a great deal of humility, a great deal of wisdom, of maturity, for a human being to decide that for themselves. That is the key for this healing to be accessible for each and every one encountering pain of any kind during their incarnation in a vessel, on a body, that they know today as themselves. Looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing a human being in front of you that you know is you. You know its name. You know a little bit about that essence, but you don't know all the innate addictions of pain that soul has contributed to him or herself through countless times, the history of humanity, having been part at some point in the future, present, or past of the darkness that human beings as a global creative force have given themselves, allowed themselves to encounter and to be part of. And as water that would wet your outer body during a rain shower, although you might feel that you have dried up, there is a residue of that pain, of that toxicity on your energetic bodies, your auras, that exist, that walks with you everywhere you go, and that can be triggered at any point by fear that someone has attacked you, that your livelihood is at stake, and then suddenly that aura, that thin layer that was not bothering you, becomes thicker and thicker. And that is hell on earth. There is no other hell. That the own hell that you encounter inside your own vessel, that you augment, because you have been given a brain that can access all kinds of spectrums, from light to darkness, from total light to total darkness. Your brain can access all of these vibrations, all of these spectrums. And you are the captain of your ship, always, with your free will. So at some point, there is a certain maturity, a certain acknowledgement in yourself that you are the captain of your ship, and that you no longer will take that ship, yourself, your vessel, your body, into the dark realms of toxicity. It is up to you to choose. You have the magic compass. You can choose where you allow your thoughts to go, where you allow your body to move towards, and your mouth to speak the words that the mouth will be speaking, connected to your own intelligence. You are always the captain of your own ship. And that is why we say that you have free will. Every single soul has been and taken part of immense and tremendous amount of darkness as a global species. And it is time now for that to change. It is time now. The time has come for a new perspective, for a new life for each one of you. It is time. It is now that you can all jumpstart into this new creation for yourself, where fear that has been your compass for eternal times, fear has driven you to losing your kindness, losing consciousness, accessing dark thoughts, dark words, toxicity. It is always based on fear. Fear of your aptitudes of survival. So, fear exists, but can be controlled. Because remember, we are telling you that you have access to higher intelligence, connection of the higher intelligence of the whole entire creative universe. You have a connection. You all have that connection. As you have noticed, darkness is just the other side of light. Fear and hate is just the other side of love. It is as close together as that. As if a page had two sides, and one side is filled with love and the other side is filled with hate. And a very thin layer separates, divides the two. You can go from hate to love in a split second by just accessing that compass and changing the direction of your thoughts, of your perception of right and wrong, of what you really thought with your big ego and your small mind that truth was. Your truth, not the truth though. Have you ever encountered the truth? No. That is not so easy for human beings to encounter and to perceive. You're striving for that. When you think something is truth, remember, it is only your perception, your truth. It is not the truth. When someone has a different point of view than you, accept that. It is their truth. It is not the truth either. So, remain yourself as what you really are. When we say you are God, is because we're saying you have that potential inside of you. You are God, you are part of the creation, but become that, embody that. Shed the part of you that is addicted to negativity and to toxicity. And when you catch yourself doing that again and again, you always have the possibility to ask for forgiveness. Ask yourself for forgiveness. The universe is always forgiving. But ask yourself for forgiveness and say to yourself, oh, I caught myself. I caught myself again walking on the path of pain and of toxicity, of judgment. May I start again with a blank canvas? May I walk again on that straight path that I yearn to walk on, the path that leads me directly to my own connection, to the universal creative intelligence, to source, so that I can embody the vibration of that energy of God that will change everything for me, that will change my hate into love, my toxicity into benevolence, my anger into kindness. In a split second, my rigidity into humor, into lightness, into movement, into caring for others. It is such a thin line. And addiction to substances does not help you. We want to say that. There is nothing that you will really gain that is positive from leaving your own essence and changing to an altered state of consciousness through alcohol or through drugs. You might enjoy the taste of wine, and that is perfectly okay. But as long as you are consuming that substance with integrity, with wisdom, with all of your senses being there to enjoy for a specific moment that substance, but not that substance, when it becomes your God, when that substance becomes your compass and sends you in a direction that you never wanted to go, that is when we would say that you have been possessed by an addiction. And be aware of that. Be aware of that. You are able and perfectly able to connect to energy, to benevolence, to light, to enjoyment, to pure joy, to pure bliss, just through your own body, just through your own breath, amplifying that as a substance, as that nectar that it will give you, drinking from that nectar, and your molecules, each one of your cells, amplifying that even more. That is what we would like to inspire you all to think about achieving, if you want to. We want to explain that the souls departing from this planet through the death process sometimes need purification in order to rebirth. And that moment of purification is done with great care and with great love. And it will always be available to all souls. The ones who decided to cut their lives short will encounter that layer in the universal heavens, as you call it, so that they can be helped, as if you could imagine as a hospital of kindness and love for those souls to receive much needed healing, so that they can start again the learning that they did not have the courage to allow during that life. Every soul that we encounter has done that to themselves at some moment in time, in the past, future, or present. So it is not to judge that. It is just to understand it, that there will always be purification available for each soul. After the soul releases from the body, there will be that love attainable for that soul, as much as it is in need for that soul. So when you are in existence, we want to also advise you and explain you that souls that have departed this earth and that have not allowed themselves to move forward in their evolution, that have constrained themselves to this existence while already detached from their own bodies. Sometimes this can happen through an accident, a car accident, a bicycle accident, something unexpected that happened, that soul has a hard time understanding that they're detached from the physical body. That soul can linger in this realm for much time, unlimited time. And that is why their loved ones pray for that soul, to help that soul take the next step of evolution, so that it does not constrain itself in this reality, because they are no longer inside that body. And sometimes that healing That help can be accessed through counselors, therapists that know how to do this work. This work can be taught. But sometimes that soul stays in this layer of planet Earth's frequency that is a dense frequency already by itself. And so that soul becomes an entity. If you want, you could call it a lost entity that lingers around, and that due to their pain during their own existence, maybe as an addiction of some kind, is capable of finding a human that has enough light on them that intrigues that soul to attach, to piggyback. And that can happen and often happens. And so that soul is basically in possession of that human being's essence. And this is why you listening here to this audio, to this channeling, must understand that you will benefit from soul healing, from soul empowerment in your own life as a human being, to seal yourself enough inside your own cocoon of help and healing for your own self, of connection to source, that you are sealed enough in this protection so that these entities are not able to penetrate your field. So that work is important for you to constantly do this. And there are so many ways to do this, to protect yourself, to embody a sealing cocoon, if you want to envision. And that is done through your own spiritual health, your own soul health. That's why we are always talking about healing. Accessing that healing is an important part of your soul's protection whilst you are alive in a human body. And there are many, many ways you can do that. Prayer is a very good way to do that. Conscious living, shamanic healing is a very good way to do that. A practitioner, a shamanic practitioner, knowledgeable, trained, properly trained in these modalities, can help you seal yourself so that two things would be happening here. You will benefit from healing, from shedding your own toxicity, your own darkness. You will benefit from learning what were the traumas in your life so far that hurt you. And by healing those traumas, little traumas, big traumas, enormous traumas, they will no longer have power on you because you have healed them, you have cleansed them, you have shed them. They have, those layers of cement, as we say, have been broken, destroyed. Your true essence is now freer to have a beautiful life for your own self. So that can be done through healing. Conscious healing modalities, energy modalities, there are many, many modalities. Meditation, conscious living, so that you are protecting yourself from exterior possible penetration of toxicity that would piggyback on your own body or essence. There's other benefits for that. Once you have healed your heart and your soul, not only you will find more joy in your heart, you will access more joy, but you will understand better your life, and you will no longer need to embark in toxic thoughts or toxic actions or unconscious actions. So there's so many benefits for a human being alive right now to allow trauma release by many different modalities. Test one or other modality to see which one you feel more compelled by. And there will be, we can promise you that, accessible for you, a more joyous life, a more complete life. You will feel secure because you will feel connected to source, to energy, to God, to the creative universal intelligence. And so you will feel more secure. And there's so many, many reasons why we would like to always inspire you to use this time that you are alive now to really embody life, most of you, or some of you, are still very obsessed with the fear of death. But there is no pain in the act of dying. There is more pain in livelihood, in everyday actions, and your own livelihood contains the pain. The death is a very beautiful transition. So why fear death? It is not the end of anything. It is the beginning of the new. It is the moment where your soul will instantly connect to every understanding, to every knowledge accessible for the entire universal creation. You will access immense beauty instantly. So why fear death and not fear life? So don't fear death, basically. Enjoy the fact that you're alive in Earth School for the purpose of learning various topics, various subjects that can bring you knowledge, wisdom, kindness, love, health, mental health, physical health, emotional health. And this is why we are here accessing your intellect through these channeling transmissions that come through human beings open enough, like Sandra, open enough to receive these transmissions. Simple as that. It is not more complicated than that. For her, receiving these transmissions is as natural as blinking her eyes. Of course, you can say it is a special gift, but you all have that gift. So focus on your life. Focus on everything that you still, all the toxicity, the negativity, the fear, the anxiety, the darkness that you're still encountering in your life. Focus on that through healing modalities. We believe that, yes, meditation, you can access a lot through self-meditation, quiet time. But we also believe that human beings like you have been urged and have had the fervor in their hearts to understand, to learn about healing modalities. That was their mission in their lives, and they're here to help you. So use that help. Go slowly, building confidence with one or other modality, and use that beautiful, accessible possibility for you to encounter the beautiful life that you want to have, the prosperous life that you envision having, the abundant life that you desire for yourself and for all the ones you want and for all the ones you love. Take the time to be alive, because this is a unique opportunity still available for you to learn more on Earth School. And for this, we complete the transmission today. We wanted to talk about the pain that can linger in the after death. The more you work on yourself where you are alive, the less you will need to access difficult realms of painful help, if you want, after the transition. So we're advising you to do the work now. It is beneficial for you to do your own work now whilst you are alive. If you don't succeed, there will be help for you. We can promise you that. But why not succeed in doing that now, so that you can really, really enjoy your existence now in the body that you chose for yourself, in the family that you chose for yourself, in the existence that you chose for yourself. So we leave you with these inspiring thoughts for you to take advantage of all these healing modalities that are accessible on planet Earth. Thank you.